Open up, man.
What do you want, man?
The law just caught up with me.
You let them catch you?
I don't know how I let this happen.
What did you do?
Election subversion, retention of classified information, and hush money payments to an adult movie star, you know.
Man,
I don't know what to do.
say it wasn't you?
Beautiful. The feds came in and they found my top secret docs on the bathroom floor. On top of this, now they got me indicted for dabbling in election fraud. I had tried to keep them back from what they were about to see. How can I get away with it when they don't take hush money?
Why you give them Denver clouds access to your villa? I listen to a pro cause you act like a beginner. Thought it'd be a postmodern relative truth spinner. Let's review the situation that you caught up in. To be a dictator, now you got to dictate. To say an I convince them say a day. Never admit to a word that they say. And if they claim it, you tell them, baby, no way.
Undermined an election.
It wasn't me.
Incited insurrection.
It wasn't me.
Fake wealth to get bank loans.
It wasn't me.
Pressured Georgia on the telephone.
It wasn't me.
Sparked a riot on the Capitol.
It wasn't me.
Paid off Stormy Daniels.
It wasn't me.
She got some sensitive info.
Okay, what's that?
It looks like Toad from Mario. The feds came in and they found my top secret docs on the bathroom floor. On top of this, now they got me indicted for dabbling in election fraud. I had tried to keep them back from what they were about to see. How can I get away with it when they don't take hush money?
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Eltel Cockerel. It's the end of season predictions reveal. It's been a long old season. But we finally got there. So yeah, I just wanted to say congratulations to Manchester City on winning the Premiership. Because the predictions are all around the Premiership. I must say my commiserations go to Sheffield United, Burnley and Luton, who have all been relegated from the Premiership. And then my congratulations go to who's the second team? I can't even remember who the second team was. My congratulations go to Leicester and Ipswich for coming up. And the third team will be out of Leeds and Southampton, who play at the weekend. So good luck to Leeds in the final. Obviously, we've got quite a few Leeds supporters here. So good luck to Leeds in the final. And we will see who the third team is that comes and graces the Premiership for next season. If it is Leeds, then there'll be lots and lots of cross-channel content because Leeds will be a Premiership team. So, yeah, we've all adopted, I think the majority of us have adopted Leeds as our second team and our team from the Premiership. So we all wish the Leeds supporters well. Right, before we get into predictions, what's happened today? So today, obviously, the announcement's been made of the England squad. I don't know what you think in the chat. I think, personally, he hasn't been ruthless enough. I think there's a lot more players that he could have been ruthless with. The fact that he's dropped, Phillips hasn't been in the squad for a while, but the fact that he's dropped Henderson and Rashford, I think he could have gone a lot further. Maguire is still like a lingering smell. He's still in that squad. And I thought, with all the young ones that they've got, Jared Branthwaite, Kwanzaa, Gomez, Joe Gomez from Liverpool has come back into some superb form. And bearing in mind that Gomez used to be one of the back three back in the 2018 World Cup and stuff like that, and 2020, he was there or thereabouts, Gomez. So the fact that he's still around, and he's quite young, but he's doing really well. So I think there's enough centre-backs at the moment. So I thought that he could have been a bit more ruthless because you still got the likes of Maguire there. I don't know what Maguire is, what Maguire offers. Yeah, I know he's got experience in that, but I don't see what Maguire has done this season for Manchester United. I don't see what many Manchester United players have done this season. Obviously, Kobe Mainoo's been a revelation for them, so I can understand Kobe Mainoo being there. I mean, I've looked at the rest of the squad and I just thought to myself, yeah, that's the one that stood out for me is why the hell is Maguire still there? I can't understand the Luke Shaw thing either. I don't know why Luke Shaw's there. Luke Shaw is nowhere near match fitness. He will be nowhere near match fitness when the European Championships start. And it always takes Luke Shaw, because of the makeup of his body and the mechanisms inside his body, it always takes him a bit of time to get up and running. So I'm not sure what. I mean, these players aren't going. Let's be honest. There's 33 players, and he's got to cull them by 7. I would have thought that unless there's any big injuries to the goalkeeping department, I would have thought they'll probably release Trafford because he's probably the 4th choice at the moment. So he's probably one that's going to come out of the squad. Yeah, there's some of the young ones that he's put in there. I think to myself, you know, they've done really well this season, and Southgate can't contradict what he says, because he says he's picked players on form. And if you're saying that you've picked players on form, then when you go to your final 26, there are some players that are obvious or have been obvious in the squad for a while now that probably don't get a chance if you look at what he's done. So yeah, so like I said, there's quite a few in there that I was quite shocked about that he selected. The one omission that I felt, if you're talking about people, and people can hate me as much as they want for this, right? But if you're looking at people on form, because that's what he said he was doing, then why you've got Harry Maguire in there instead of Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer, since he's gone to Bayern Munich, has been on fire for Bayern Munich. Love him or hate him, he's been on fire for Bayern Munich, and therefore, if anything, on form alone, he should have been in there. Whether he made the squad in the end or not, he should have been in there before someone like Harry Maguire. In midfield, so the way that they've got the squad set up, you've got Henderson, Pickford, Ramsdale, who would be the 3 I think he takes. I think, and barring injury, I think James Trafford drops down. Defenders, as they've got them on this list at the moment, they've got the defenders as Brathwaite, Dunk, Gomez, Guehi, Konza, Maguire, Kwanzaa, Shaw, Stones, Trippier, and Walker. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 11 defenders. I don't know whether he trims that, but in the midfield, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 6 people in midfield, and they're Trent Alexander-Arnold. Let me spit it out. Conor Gallagher, Curtis Jones, Kobe Minu, Declan Rice, Adam Wharton. And then in the forward line, he's picked 3, 6, 9. He's picked 12 forwards. And bearing in mind, you've got to chop this down by 7 players to make it 26. He's got Bellingham, Bowen, Eze, Foden, Gordon, Grealish, Kane, Maddison, Palmer, Saka, Tony, Watkins. So out and out forwards, does he take Tony, Watkins, and Kane, all 3? Or is he gonna, chop signing players away? Maddison has got into the squad. So for us Tottenham supporters, Maddison's got in the squad. But has Maddison been better than Bowen? Has Maddison been better than Eze? I suppose Eze's been injured throughout the season. Has Maddison been better than Anthony Gordon? Has Maddison been better than Grealish? Grealish, another one, has been injured for a lot of the season. Has he been better than Cole Palmer? So there's questions that need to be asked. Elise Carl can't play because Elise's French. We'd love him to be English, Elise, but Elise's French, Carl. So that's why he can't play. So yeah, so seven of these players will get bombed by the 7th of June. So I think it's when England play their last friendly against Iceland, the evening or straight after that game is when you have to tell FIFA, whoever it is, what your final 26 is going to be. And that needs to happen. On the 7th after the last game. Yeah. So that's the news that's come out today. about the England squad, which, as I said, I'm not too keen on. Well, he's chopped, but I thought he could have chopped a lot further than what he has done. Let me say hello to a few people in the chat because there's some people. So Stu's here. He said he was in early. He was in an hour earlier. Said, "Good evening, Jose. Hope you're well. We'll be listening to today's show in the background. Hope everyone in the chat as well. Big up, Stu. I can't believe it. I'm saying big up because you lot say it because I don't use big up normally. Neil, I'm due to start my night shift very soon, so we'll miss the live chat as usual these days. All the best to everyone contributing their piece, and of course to Jose and Colin. Have a great show, everyone." And then he says, "I'm assuming Colin won't be taking part in the show itself, but hi to him anyway." Then we've got Adrian is here saying, "Good afternoon, Jose et al." Colin Blackshaw, "Good afternoon, Jose. Good afternoon, Colin." Shem Tam, who's not called me Lo Celso. Hey, Jose, hope you're doing well. And Colin is still enjoying his holiday with his family. Danny Talks Sports is smash a like and subscribe, please. That'd be good. If people could do what Danny says, it'd be fantastic. Carl Simpson is here. Good afternoon, Carl. Says afternoon, Jose. And hello in the chat. Big John, afternoon, all marching on together. Good afternoon, Big John. I hope you're well, sir. And you've got Lee Statham TV saying hello to everyone as well. And there's a whole load of people saying hello to each other. But then you've got Jesse Talks Football Fan Channel says afternoon all. Good afternoon, Jess. Audio Artisan is here saying afternoon, Jose and the chat. Carl Simpson is saying that he doesn't believe since Southgate is not ruthless at all. Roll on a new manager. David Clark, hi DC. We missed you last week, mate. And you're telling us I didn't take part because I was constructing a framework to fit bamboo screen as a background for a Buddha fountain and light. Also did the electrics. My predictions don't count, but I did get 10 points. Fair enough. Carl Simpson. I mean, missing the show is one thing, DC, but you could have also left them in there. There was opportunities to leave them in the community chat or even after the stream, after the show, because the matches weren't till Sunday. I know the show was on Friday, the prediction show, but the matches didn't take place till Sunday, so there's plenty of time. Carl Simpson says, "What does Tomori have to do at Milan as well?" Hell, I am going to say it. Even Dyer had been better than Maguire second half of the season. That's exactly what I said. The audio says Maddison must have picks of Southgate. Chris Peters, hello Chris, says good afternoon, Jose in chat. Southgate won't win anything. Too negative, doesn't pick a great lineup. DC's chimed in with Southgate is a born loser, doesn't have the coaching maturity when it comes down to wire to take risks for a competition. I've got Alan. Alan, good afternoon. Alan says, "Hi Jose, happy Tuesday," and hi to all the chat. Alan, are you still travelling through Boston? David Clark says that midfield won't win any major competition. And then you've got a load of people saying hello to each other. Chris Peters is saying, "Jose, I'm on mute. Am I? Can no one hear me?" Good afternoon, everyone from Destiny 5. Good afternoon, Destiny. I don't know. Something must have happened because there's a lot of chat between yourselves. And I don't know what's going on. Carl Simpson says, "Elise can play for England. He hasn't had a senior cap for France and was born in Hammersmith. We should have got in there quick." I thought Elise played for the under-21s in some form of competition because we've all got him down as he's down as being French. So unless he's played in a competitive under-21 game, that's why I'm saying he's French. So he must have played in a competitive under-21 game. I don't know if he played in the Euros or stuff like that, so I haven't got a clue. Carl, you're saying it has to be a senior cap. I understand about that, but every time you look at Elise, it's always got the French flag next to him. So I'm not sure. Alan is back home and says he had a wonderful time, but it's great to be back home. Good afternoon to Jordan. Says, "Hey, Jose, I'm looking forward to the Euros." Yeah, the Euros is a few weeks away. There's a few big games to come before the Euros. A lot of the people in this chat will tell you there's a big game happening this weekend. You've also got the FA Cup final happening. Then you've got the playoff for the Championship playoff. Then we still have, I don't know, there's not a European final tomorrow night, is there? I mean, I've not even looked at the fixtures, but you're going to have to fit in the Europa Conference League final, and that might be tomorrow, might be, because next week, the Wednesday, there's going to be surely another final. Yeah, the Europa League final is tomorrow night, so that's another big game that's going to happen before the Euros. Then next week, you should have the Conference League final, I think should be next Wednesday, and then the following Saturday, which is the 1st of June, will be the Champions League final. And then the Euros are probably 2 weeks away from then, I would have thought. So there's still quite a lot. Sorry, yeah, Alan's right. And the under-21s are in the final this weekend of the Premier League Cup. They're in the final against Sunderland. So Sunderland beat Reading in the other semi-finals. It's Sunderland versus Tottenham. And for those that aren't aware, I think that Sunderland finished the regular season 7th in the league or 6th in the league, 12 points behind Tottenham, because Tottenham actually won the regular season for the Premier League too. So yeah, there's a final for Tottenham as well on Saturday. So before the Euros, Jordan, there's quite a bit of football and there's quite a bit to be decided. And Big John is saying Southgate should have taken young Archie Gray. So the other news I was going to say is that the Tottenham squad have flown over to Australia. They've landed. There are this videos, or if you want to call it, on YouTube of them doing an open training session. It has been said that the reason why Mikey Moore didn't go is because Mikey Moore and someone by the name of Callum, who plays in the under-17s, have both been selected to play for England under-17s in this summer's Euro under-17s championships. So not only are seniors playing in the Euros, but so the under-17s, and 2 Tottenham players have been selected for that. And Mikey Moore being selected for that means he's not on this trip, but he will be included apparently in the pre-season that the start that will be in July. He'll be included in the pre-season. So when he comes back from the championships, along with other people that are playing in their nationals. So you've got the Euros, plus I think is Copa America not in this summer as well, because I believe that is as well. So there's some big tournament football still to be played, but there's a matter of some big finals to come before then. So between now and between tomorrow night, it'll be an 11-day period between tomorrow night and the 1st of June. The big finals will take place. I mean, I don't know. I don't know whether the Spanish final is after the Champions League, because the Spanish final last season was after the Champions League, but they had an elongated year in Spain. But anyway, there is a lot of stuff. UEFA Chris is saying UEFA under-17 UEFA Championship is on too. England have France, Portugal, and Spain, and the England France tonight is on the iPlayer. Right. So Chris, when you're saying that, is that the England under-17s Championships is on tonight, and it's England versus France? Because if that's the case, then Mikey Moore, they only said about the news only leaked about this Callum player and Mikey Moore at the weekend, late at the weekend, that they'd been selected for the squad. But if that's on the iPlayer at 6:30 tonight, I may well tune into that, because I want to see a bit more of Mikey Moore. We've got to give him. We've heard lots of Mikey Moore. I don't have Spurs play, so we've heard lots and lots of Mikey Moore. So it was really nice to see that he was given an opportunity off the bench for the last 2 games of the season. That he was given some minutes. How must he feel as a 16-year-old getting Premiership minutes as a 16-year-old? I couldn't fathom how he must be. He must be like in a different world at the moment. He must be on one of them clouds. And if there is one of them clouds, you see them on cartoons, but if there's one of them clouds that you can hop on and ride along, he must be on one of them clouds at the moment. So yes, absolutely fantastic. Audio, Jose, what are you going to do with your spare time now that you don't have to sort out prediction spreadsheets and tables? I haven't decided what I'm going to be doing yet, Audio. Probably go out there and get my fitness up. probably go out and do some more exercising and get my fitness up. It's probably what I'll end up doing. Further news, we know that Ryan Sessegnon has now been told that he can leave, that they won't be extending his contract because there was an option. He had 5 years and an option of 1. They've told him now at the weekend, or it's come out at the weekend, whether they told him beforehand or not, they will not be extending his year. So he will be leaving on a free this summer. And by all accounts, if you believe all the stories that you read, some tier 1 journos are saying that some top sides are looking to take him to play for them. Now, what the hope is for Sessegnon is he's had an awful bad run of injuries since he's come to Tottenham, and it must take a lot out of a person. He's a professional footballer, and he's not allowed to do what he probably loves and wants to do, and that's to play football, because injuries keep scuppering him. So I'm hoping that that one, he heals. They've said that the 2 operations he's now had on his hamstrings should alleviate any hamstring problems in the future. So therefore, I'm hoping that he finds peace and he finds happiness somewhere, and that he's able to show his ability, because obviously when he was young, he had lots of ability because lots of clubs were pining for him. So I'm hoping that, you know, for him as a human being, for his mental state and mental health, I hope that he's cured of his illnesses, of his injuries, illnesses, if you want to call them, and that he can come back stronger for whoever he chooses to play for next. So he goes with my blessing, and I wish him all the best. Other than that, since the weekend, we've had 100 million people that we are linked with, which I've said all along to people. If you listen to me, I've said to people all along, yeah, we're going to be we're going to be we're going to be linked with the whole of the world. Everyone's going to be linked to Tottenham, or sorry, Tottenham's going to be linked to everyone in the world. We just need to wait and see what happens. My priority is not only, yeah, it's obvious that we do need to bring players in, but the priority's got to be getting players out, because if you get players out, then you find the room for the players to come in. So it should be a revolving door type of summer for Tottenham. I mean, there's lots of players. I mean, you know, we have been linked with, in the forward positions, Ivan Toney, Santiago Jimenez, now Benjamin Sesko. So it seems to be, you know, that's all gathering pace about these forwards. And then in midfield, you've got the usuals. You've got your Conor Gallagher's. People are saying Eberechi Eze now. You know, you've got like all these midfielders, but there's loads more. I mean, if you go on to Adrian, I don't know if Adrian's still here, but Adrian's got a Facebook page where he's got like 13,500 followers on his Facebook page. It's called Tottenham Diehards. Really good group to be on if you use Facebook. And in there, he posts like all the links are posted on there on a daily basis. And the amount of links and the amount of players that we're linked with is absolutely unbelievable. But it's because we're magnifying into Tottenham here, because Tottenham is our club, that we magnify into Tottenham. But there's probably no doubt that all other clubs are probably being linked with 1 million players as well, because they're obviously looking for players. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, the part that I want to, right, if you're asking me, I'm going to turn around and say, I've said all along that the work started at the end of the last summer transfer window. When the window closed, you started doing the work for this summer. So you started to, you know what kind of player you're looking for in every position. So you start tapping these players up. And I'm hoping these conversations have started throughout the season, so you know who's willing to come to you or not. So you're in an advanced position to just let the gun go. So fire your gun, and you can pick the player that you want, so to speak. So I'm hoping that with that in mind, I'm hoping that some of the deals can be announced, because although you might not be able to bring certain players until the 1st of July or the 1st of June or the 1st of July, it might be the 1st of July, that some deals can be announced before then, because we've had others. Bergval's already been announced. We know Bergval's coming to us. It's been announced already. We know that we've got the young Croatian centre off coming to us in February 25 because he's already been signed. It's been done and dusted. We know he's coming. So I'm hoping that we can get some more players and we can announce them that they're coming in. And that means that we're doing our business early. But that would be in an ideal world. But yeah, we've got to get rid of some players as well. So there's going to be lots going on with Tottenham and every other team for that matter. So yeah, it's just a wait and see, and it'll be just absolutely a mad summer. But then, yeah, that's the way things are. Pramvat says, "Yo, it's been a while. Good afternoon, Pramvat. I hope you're well. Audio, what are the odds the next team that signs Cess wins the cup?" As I said, I have nothing but admiration for him in the sense that he doesn't want to be injured. He wants to play football. Like any pro, they want to play football. That's their living. That's what they do. And he's just been hampered by injuries over and over and over again. And it must affect your mental health. It's got to affect the way you think in your mental health, your mental health, the way you think. So I wish him nothing but peace and karma, and I hope things equalise themselves and that he goes on to have a good career. He's missed half of his career already, injured. So he's only got another half to hold on to, really. So I hope he does well. Good afternoon, Chris. Chris Lonnie says, "Hi, Jose. I'd be happy to see Son and Richie as part of the squad next season." Yeah, in an ideal world, I'd agree with you, Chris, but things change. Things become fluid. If offers come in, quoting the Godfather, if an offer is made that you can't refuse, then you may part with one of these and bring in someone to replace them. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'm not adverse to any of this. There certainly are other players on my list that I would think need to go out of the club. It's a lot sooner than any of these two. So, Danny says that Leeds were looking at Cess in the last window. Pramvat is saying, "I'm sorry, bro, but I have taken some really tough subjects and I can't find time for streams. I can barely watch United matches." Pramvat, all the best in your studies, mate, because I know that you're a student that's studying really hard, and I wish you all the best in your studies. And I would forget about streams because studies are more important. Studies is what set you up for life. A stream won't. So yeah, good luck to you in your endeavours, Pramvat. Drew La La is here saying, "Big up Jose and all the cockerel chatters. Good afternoon, Drew La La." Ah, so Stu has now come. Stu was here an hour beforehand, and then Stuart's now here. Good afternoon, Stu. Who else we got here? Alan's saying, "Vuskovic, we can't wait." Totspur's in the house. Good afternoon, Totspur says, "Big up Jose and all." Destiny says, "Cess is made of polystyrene. Get him out of my club. Waste of money and time." It's harsh, but I hope I look at it from the other side of the coin. I know he hasn't played for us and stuff like that, but he's been injured. And at the end of the day, I don't think he doesn't want to be injured. He really doesn't want to be injured. For people that have played football or even not played football, a hamstring injury is absolutely excruciating. And once you get a hamstring injury, it takes you so much. It's not only the recovery time, but it's then to have trust in your hammy going forwards. And I'm talking about a normal person like me who's played football and has had who suffered hamstring injuries in the past, and it took me a long time, and I didn't have oxygen chambers to go into. I didn't have the money that football clubs have got to spend on their medical to assist the players. And for me, it took me a while to understand my hammy going forward. It probably took me a couple of years after I pulled my hamstring from when I came back to actually trust it 100% fully again. So, it's no laughing matter. This guy hasn't got injured on purpose. It's happened, and we'll wait and see. But I wish him nothing but the best, Destiny. Then Destiny says, "Richarlison is a bench player at best, but if 40 million plus gets offered, then leave Richie." Pramvat says, "Bro, imagine we win the FA Cup and still Chelsea spot in the Europa League. It would be mint. By the way, I have another question. Who do you think is better, Jackson or Højlund?" Højlund all day long. Højlund 3 times on a Saturday, 7 on a Sunday, and 14 every other day of the week. He's much better. He's a much better footballer than Jackson. Carl Simpson says, "If we get the money for Richie, they are saying from Saudi we need to get rid and replace." Got Lee Smithy Smiths here saying, big up, Senor Jose. Have I missed it at all? No, I was just talking about the news today from England and some of the news out of Tottenham, because I haven't streamed in a while, so I just wanted to play catch up before I did the prediction. So I'm just talking about all things England I started off with, and now Tottenham. Side Dancers here saying, hi Eltel and everyone. Good afternoon, Side Dancer. What a lovely picture. Are they your children or your grandchildren? But it's a lovely picture there. Fantastic. Destiny, when Cesc did get a game time, he looked lost, weak, and frail. Some players are riddled with injuries, but you can see their potential. You can never see potential in him. Destiny, when you've got, like I said, when you've got hamstrings issues, right, which I had, well, I've only pulled my hamstring once when I was younger, but when I pulled it, it took me a couple of years. It took me a couple of years. And remember, I don't have the money, and I don't have the backing that some of these players have, where you can go into oxygen chambers. You know, you've got this ice bath treatments, you've got all these different things that they do now. Technology's moved on at a pace. And yet, even with doing all that, I remember without all that, when I pulled my hammy, it took me, after I'd recovered from it, it still took me about 2 years to trust, and I could go for a full length sprint because my hammy would go. The back of your mind, you don't not trust in your body. So him getting game time, it's all right that he's come back from injury, but it's not just about that. It's about mentally thinking to yourself, you're not going to break down when you're on the pitch. So I do understand it. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but then I also understand how he must feel and what he's feeling, because it's natural that would happen. Carl says, great. I say sell Richie and Smithy and Smith. Great. I say Richie. Great. I say sell Richie and Smithy. The alarm goes off, so that means Smithy then joins us. So they're your children's side. They're lovely, mate. You've got beautiful kids. Lovely. Chris Lonnie's saying, interesting to see Kulu in a different spot. Yeah, Kulu plays or played as a supporting striker for Juventus. So he's played them roles before. We immediately played him out wide. Did he play wide for Conte, or did he play as a support striker for Kane? And it just looked like he was playing out wide. But either way, Kulu is not an out-and-out winger. We all know this. He's not an out-and-out winger. Kulu, I believe, is just doing a job to serve a purpose for the team. But there are other things. There are other things that Kulu can bring and add to the team, to the squad, and one of them is playing in the middle. A lot of us have been crying out, Chris, saying when Maddison's been off form to put Kulu in the 10, because Kulu's played for us in the 10 this season and looked really good as well this year. So yeah, it was interesting, but I think Kulu is a good player, but he's just not a winger in my eyes. Shemtam also says came to the club as an attacking winger, and we tried to shoehorn him into a left back. Not his position. I really wanted him, but we just ruined him, like a lot of players that we bought in. I don't know whether we ruined him. He got injured. So, Smithy, Richie staying. I watched Jacob's channel last night, and there was a tweet where Richie cleared all the speculation up. So no mad Smithy. Smithy, if you didn't realise, is appreciative very much of Prue. Side dancers, big up Smithy, my Oxfordshire Yido. Chris Lonnie saying, I'm praying Celtic don't go for Cesc, but it could be his rehab. What I will say with Celtic, Chris, is that they're going to have Champions League money coming in, aren't they? So they might be able to, I don't know, they'll be able to, I think they'll be able to get a better type of player in than Rangers, I would have thought. And I think Celtic have got that league sewn up for the next 5 years. I just think, well, with the money, because there's not much money in Scotland, but with the revenues that you get from Champions League, it will keep Celtic in front of Rangers for years to come, unless something drastic happens over there. Destiny says, we need a striker that don't need babysitting like Richie does. I take it you like him. Right, anyway, guys, right, that's enough Tottenham talk for the moment. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch codes over to the Predictions League that we've been running all season. It was the last season last week, and the results are in. So I couldn't show them properly last week because Colin's away and does all my techie stuff. But Jose yesterday messed around with my iMac a bit. So I messed around with my iMac a bit. And I think I've got it sus now. So these are the scores for last week. Now I've got to find them. Right. Let me take Destiny off there. Right, let me just take Destiny's comment off there. I'm going to hide myself. Oh, I can't hide myself. I'm going to have to bring it up with me there. Right. So the scores last week. Is it this one? No, stop sharing that one because it's not that one. Right, scores last week, right, are, let me have a look, so it must be this one then. Yay! Can you all see that? Can you all see that? So these are the scores for last week. Am I able to make that any bigger? Right. No, that's making me there. Right. No. No, that's not good, is it? How did I have it initially? Because whenever I had it initially, it worked better. No, that's not the one. Okay, I'll have to do it like that. Right, so scores. So I'm going to start from the bottom and work myself up. So the first game in the first column was Arsenal versus Everton. And with Arsenal versus Everton, the people that scored or got the correct predictions in that game, right? So a lot of people, you can see there's a lot of orange there. So a lot of people predicted Arsenal to win the game. But the actual correct predictions of 2-1 went to Adrian Schroker, got 3 points. Jim got 3 points from Jimbo. Peter Kegais also scored, got the 2-1. Mia from Spurs Between the Lines also got 2-1. And David Shear, Cobber, also got the 2-1. And Hanno, the coach, who's Chelsea boy, he also scored 3 points. The second column is Brentford Newcastle, and that was an away victory by 2-4. Nobody got the correct prediction, but quite a few of you got a point. The next game, the third one in, is Brighton Man United, and Brighton Man United finished 0-2 to Man United, and a few people, not many, but 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, about 18 of you correctly predicted Man United to win, but no one got the actual score correct. So people scored a point in that one. Burnley versus Nottingham Forest finished Burnley 1, Forest 2. And for that, the people that ended up scoring the greens, so they got the actual correct prediction, were Bobby K, Lee Smithy Smith, Chris Meta Football, Ronnie, Carl Simpson, Audio Artisan, the Disabled Team, James the Tottenham fan, Sahil, Drula, Inner Hype, Andy LUFC Till I Die, the Mile High Hotspur, Michelle Zachariah, and Dan E all scored the big 3 points. Game number 5 was Chelsea versus Bournemouth, and that finished Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 1. And in that game, the correct score predictions were from Lee Smithy Smith, Potato Stew, Big John, Andy LUFC Till I Die, Mynamic Dellen, Nita R, Colin, and Hanno, the Chelsea coach. All got that one right. The next game, unsurprisingly, was Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. Some people went for that and got the correct prediction in that Villa would win. The Palace would win that game, but nobody had 5-0, unsurprisingly. So therefore, there was no greens in that game, no 3-pointers in that game. The next game we've got Liverpool versus Wolves. This Klopp's last game finished 2-0, and the correct predictions for this game were by Adrian Schroker, Mark Cousins, the Sheriff, and Graham from Spurs GCTV. And that's it. They're the only three people that correctly predicted the Liverpool Wolves score of 2-0. Luton Fulham. Can't even remember what score that finished. But whatever the Luton score was, Luton Fulham, I can't remember the score. I'll have to look it up. But nobody correctly predicted that score. Right, here we go. Luton Fulham. So it's 2-4. Luton 2-4, but nobody correctly predicted that score either. So there's a lot of people that might have had Fulham away, so you got a point, but no one had the correct score. Manchester City 3-1 against West Ham. The 3 pointers go to Tot Spurs, Stu from the disabled team, Nick Collison, Andy LUFC Till I Die, Nita, Phil Coys, and Hanno, the Chelsea coach. And then the last game of the week was Sheffield United versus Tottenham, which finished 0-3. And the only people that got the correct predictions on that was Rahul Athreya, Andy LUFC Till I Die, Mynamic Dellen, David Cobber Shea, Destiny 5 were the only ones. So, from top to bottom, it meant. Right, who's that? Danny Talks Sports. Right, Danny. I have you down as. Where is Danny? Danny, you had 1-4, mate. That's what you gave me. You gave me 1-4. I can only put in what people give me, and you put in 1-4, mate, and that's what I've given you. Let me have a look. Just going away for a second. Oh, you had 3-1 Man City. Is that what you're saying to me? Okay, let me go back to Man City. Danny Ramsey. Shit, you're right, Danny. I'm going to change that. That's a green. I'm changing it on my one to green, and that gives you 2 more points. Okay, so I've changed it. That gives you 2 more points, Danny. Does that change you much at all in the league table? Because I can't update the league table whilst I'm on here. Right, it moves you. Right, so with that, Danny, it moves 2 points. It moves you up a spot. So wherever I've got you, you replace one person. You go up a spot, and the person in front of you comes down a spot. Right. So right. Anyway, going back to the results. So from the bottom, you can see Danny scored 10 points this week. Hanno, the Chelsea coach, got 12 points this week. Beer Talk scored 7 points. Paul G, 6 points. Dekaru, 8 points. Jay Ashraf, 6 points. Michelle Zachariah, 11 points. Jamie Imba, 7 points. Julie Sievers, 7 points. Colin, 7 points. Destiny 5, 7 points. Phil Coys, 10 points. David Shear, 12 points. Leo from Marhite, 9 points. Jacob, United Spurs of America, 7 points. Nita, 11 points. Jono, 6 points. Alan, Rakdos Madness, 7 points. Mynamic Dellen, 11 points. Man of the week, Andy, LUFC till I die, 16 points. The Mum Overlord, 10 points. Richard Wigley, 2 points, but Richard only gave 4 predictions. I did message him back on the community page to tell him he only gave me 4 and he was missing 6, but he never sent them on to me. Rahul Athreya, 10 points. Mark Cook, 7 points. Dave, the Irish Hotspur, 7 points. Ben Kaufman, 6 points. Mia, 9 points. Nick Collinson, 8 points. Charlie Spurs, North 17, 6 points. Ellie, 4 points. Ian Meth, 6 points. Josh from Spurs Live, 7 points. Sanchez Bethnal Green, 7 points. Inner Hype, 9 points. Drew Lala, 8 points. Robbie from Lily White Lane, 6 points. Peter Kagayas, 8 points. Big John, 8 points. Harry Young, 7 points. Shemtam, 8 points. Chang Ching Song, 8 points. Sahil, 8 points. Potato Stew, 10 points. Jordan Hyman, LFC, 5 points. Colin Blackshaw, 7 points. Kuva 99, 7 points. James the Tottenham fan, 11 points. Jesse Talks Football, 7 points. Danny LUFC Rumsey, 7 points. Lee Statham TV, 6 points. The Disabled Team, 11 points. Rob Belcher, 6 points. Audio Artisan, 9 points. Carl Simpson, 11 points. Ryan G, 8 points. Spurs GCTV, 10 points. Jim, 9 points. Ronnie, 10 points. Chris Meta Football, 10 points. Lee Smithy Smith, 12 points. Mark Cousins, the Sheriff, 8 points. Adrian Shoker, 11 points. Kate, 7 points. Bobby K, 9 points. Tot Spurs, 10 points. And me, 7 points. So last week we had, in the final week of predictions, we had 66 players play. Out of 119 players, 66 players took part in the final week. And we have a champion. We certainly do. We have a champion. So if I go to the league table. All right, let me go to the league table. Right, so the league table. So what I've done for a bit of fun, because people were asking me the other day the question. So what are we going to do about this and what are we going to do about that? What I did is I've put people in to the positions that they would have finished had we been in the league table. Is this the one? Yeah. So if we can see that, right? Anyone that's shaded out in grey, right? Let me just say, so for the points, right? Let's just start with the points. Anyone that's in blue on the left-hand side, it means that was your first week. So in your first week, the climbers, and if you've got green beside your name, is that you climbed up in the league, right? So, and for those that are also in grey, yeah, I mean, I need to move this down a bit. For those that are also in grey, there we go. For those that are also in grey, right, it means that that spot would have got, so 93rd spot. There are 92 teams in the league. So 93rd spot would have made you be in the conference. So the people that done well, Jono UK scored 6 points in his first week. Nick Collison scored 8 points in his first week and finished 101st. Rahul Athreya only played this last week and ended up with 10 points, 97th place. Charlie Spurs North 17 scored enough points to take him into 96. And Mynamic Dillon, 93rd with 11 points. A really good week. 11 points in 1 week is a really good week. And he finished 93rd. So everybody in grey would have ended up in the if we did this by leagues, you would be in the Conference League. Excuse me. Right. So as we go up, the people in the next lighter colour, which is like a beigey type colour, these people would have been in Division 2. If you spread it out, it would have been in Division 2. And the notable people here are Mark Cook, who jumped up into 86th, Phil Coy's 84th, Drula 83rd, Hanno the coach 79th, Peter Kagaias 77th, Jacob from United Spurs of America 74th, and 72nd, but I'm going to give him a special mention, is Andy LUFC Till I Die. He's only been playing for 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks he has scored, I think it's 2 weeks he's played. I think it's 2 weeks. Andy has scored 31 points in 2 weeks. And 31 points in 2 weeks got him to 72nd out of 119 teams. So there's a special mention for him. Mia is up to 70th. And then in 69th, it was Alan Clark from Time Added On. So all these players from 69th down to 92nd would have been in Division 2. Right. Now, going on to what would have been Division 1. We go move it down a bit more. Right. So, Division 1. And the special mentions go out to people in Division 1. So, for the people in Division 1, Sahil jumped up to 67th. Dave the Irish Hotspur went up to 66th. Inner Hype to 63rd. Jay Ashraf, 62nd. Harry Young, 60th. Big John, 59th. Alan Raxdos Dos Madness, 58th. Michelle Zachariah, 55th. Lee Statham jumped into 54th. The Mum Overlord, 51st. Ben Kaufman, 50th. And then it would be Danny Rumsey in 47th. Colin Blackshaw in 46th. And Jesse in 45th place. You all would have made Division 1, League 1, if you want to call it. So Jesse downwards, up until from Jesse down to Kismat, you all would have been in League 1. So, Drula, can you not see on my screen to the left-hand side of me? I've got it there. And that's the biggest I can get it. I can't do anything more than that with it, so I'm bringing it up. So, championship teams. Right, so for the championship teams, in championship positions, should I say, for the championship, the positions would be the people in dark orange. So, in the championship positions, you have Jamie. Sorry, Destiny asked me a question. Destiny, you have finished in. You jumped up to 36th. So, Destiny, you would have finished in the championship, which I'm reading now. So, in the championship, so it starts from Soji Koi's in 44th. So, that would have been championship. But the people that progressed or jumped up this week were in 41st, you got James the Tottenham fan. In 40th, you have Potato Stew. Disabled Team 38th, Kuva 37th, Destiny 5 36th, Josh from Spurs Live 35th, David Shear 33rd, Ryan G 32nd, Dekaru jumped to 29th, Audio Artisan 27th, Carl Simpson to 25th, and the last place or the top of the tree, or the last place or the top of the tree would have been Leo Mile High Hotspur, who finished 22nd. A special mention must go out to Spurs GCTV, who broke the 100 points this week. David Clark didn't participate in the last week, and David Clark needed 8 points to break the 100 mark. But his points, although they count for him because he says what he did, in this, because I've never received them, David Clark has ended up with 92 points. Right, which takes us to the championship spots. So in the Premier League, it would have been the people that you can see. So Jamie would have been 20th. And then you've got Wayne Bonner, Ian Meth, Mark Cousins, Chang, Julie, Nita, Adrian Collin. Jim jumped up into 11th place. And you have Ellie and Kate. Nick Beer Talk jumped up to 8th. Danny jumped up into 7th. Chris Peters ended up 6th. And that's probably because Chris didn't get me these predictions in last week. Had Chris got the predictions in, I think Chris would have finished higher than 6th. And what that meant was that Lee Smithy Smith jumped into 5th because Chris didn't take part. And Chris Meta Football jumped into 4th. Bobby K has reached the 200 points this week and finished 3rd. The runner-up was me on 2nd with 222. And your winner for this season is Tot Spurs, who finished with 228 points. So a round of applause goes out to Tot Spurs. Right, so what I'll do is, some people are asking me the question because I can't see that. I'll try to do it. Let me see if I can do it differently. But I don't know whether you're going to be able to hear me. Let me see whether I can do this differently, but you won't be able to hear me. So if I move myself. Let's present this again. Right, so people are asking me where they finished. So, all right. Share this screen again. Right, who's asking me where they finished? Let me have a look, and I'll go through because I'm reading from 2 screens here. So afternoon from Mr. M. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Leo, who's here. Early doors, Tony. Good afternoon. Even in the chat, cannot see anything. Early doors, how are we doing? My eyesight's bad. I can't see Jose. Where did I finish? Mr. M wants to know. Drula wants to know. Sahil wants to know. Right, Sahil, points wise this week, Sahil, you scored. Sahil, this week you scored. You scored, Sahil. Sahil, this week's points, you scored 8 points, Sahil. Right. Right, so points wise, Mr. M, you want to know where you finished. Okay, so Mr. M, you finished. Let me just take this away so I know where I am, and then I'll come back to it. Right, Mr. M, you have finished. Because you didn't play all the weeks, Mr. M, so you were quite late to the party. But respect to you, because you have finished in. Let me have a look, Mr. M. It's now finding you. Early doors. Tony's here. Tony, you finished 92nd. I think you only took part in 2 weeks. So 92nd would you've got you the last place in League Two. Mr. M, you finished 73rd. And 73rd, Mr. M, would have got you into League One. Drula, because you gained points this week, Drula, and I remember saying your name because you got points that took you up. Drula, you finished with in 83rd. Drula, you would have got League One as well. So bearing in mind that you guys entered it late, you would have got League One as well. Early doors, we're all good just here at work on a break. League One, not bad, nice. Let me see. Just finished work. Boom. Carl Simpson's happy, saying boom, 25 points. He's happy with that. Leo saying we are going up, so he's happy with that. Tony, I haven't had a chance because you're busy. Now, appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Leo is saying, oh no, sorry. Tot Spurs, champion. Well done to everyone. Was great fun. Much love to you all. Well done, Tot Spurs. And you're getting the love from people that are saying well done to you as well. What does Jose and Arsenal have in common? They are both bottlers. Yeah, fair enough. I've got to take that, but I will say that there were a couple of weeks. If people know about this game, there was a couple of weeks that I actually threw results. I mean, there was 1 week that I picked all the bottom 7 sides weren't playing each other, but they were playing in individual games. And I went for a home victory. Sorry, I went for a victory, whether they were home or away, for all the bottom 7 sides. And surprised to say I hardly scored any points that week, but I did that on a couple of occasions. So, that's my own fault for doing it. But it was good. It was good. It was good fun, and well done again to Tot Spurs for winning it. Tot Spurs did well. You've got a lot of people congratulating you. You've got big up Tot Spurs, the filthiest of animals, you champion. Mr. M says I can only see the colours. I'm really sorry. I've tried my best because when I sent it all to Colin, and Colin sent me it for last week, everybody's came out in green. So in the end, I tried to do something about it and try to get the colouring right and everything right. So I'm having to read from 2 screens. So I hope that you take it. I've tried as best as I can. I thought when I did a practice run on it, I thought it looked all right, but obviously I've done something wrong because it doesn't look all right, does it? If you say you can't see it. So you've got a lot of people saying, why am I 2, please? Shemtam, where you finished, mate? Shemtam, you finished in 43rd. 43rd place would have got you a place in the championship. Yeah. Tot Spurs is saying thank you. Thank you to all. I'm sure you'll be gunning for me next season. All the Artisan says, note to self, put money on Tot Spurs predictions next season. Shemtam, I've said where you just finished. Rahul, you did well, Rahul. Rahul, you played for your first week last week, Rahul. You played and you scored 10 points in 1 week, Rahul. And them 10 points in 1 week, Rahul, out of 119 players, you would have finished 97th. My arrow's on it here, so I don't know if you can see it. You would have finished 97th out of 119, Rahul, and that would have got you a place in the Conference League. So 1 week you got in the Conference League. Driller says, it's okay, Jose. I only done it twice, so I must be at 140th. No, you're not 140th. You were further up. You're 83rd, Driller. You finished 83rd in what you did, so well done. Who else we got here? Is there any more messages? Tot Spurs has more trophies than Harry Kane. That's what Mile High says to you. Johnny Bethnal Green says, afternoon, Jose. Johnny Bethnal Green, you finished, sir. Last week, your points were... Johnny, last week you scored 7 points. And league-wise... My dogs are getting mad. That must be my wife's come home from work. Johnny Bethnal Green, where are you? Right, Sanchez Bethnal Green. Sanchez Bethnal Green, you finished the league in 26th place. Right, so 26th place would have got you a place in the championship. I know that you had missed some weeks, and I think you started doing this late. So well done to you. You were 4 points off breaking 100, Sanchez. So you did really well, mate. You did really well. Thanks, Jose, propping up all of yours. Big up Top Spurs League One. She's happy with that. Huge round of applause for making this happen. Sure, Leo, what are you after? So you've got a lot of congratulations going through. Alan is so League One. Thanks for the hard work, says Mr. M. Rectize Madness. Well done, all. Had a blast. Thank you, Jose and Colin, for all your hard work putting this together. No worries. I was hoping that Colin could make an appearance because I spoke to Colin yesterday, and he said he was going to try and excuses. He was going to try and pop on the show today, but he obviously hasn't yet. Sanchez says, "Congratulations, geezer. Spurs won something." Carl Simpson, Jazz, can you pass my phone a minute? Thanks. If we haven't hit the like button, is what Early Doors says. Yeah, please do that. I'm just trying to see if Colin sent me anything. Because if he has, he might want the link, but he's not sent me that because he can get into it anyway. Carl Simpson says, yes, Jose and Colin, thank you for all your hard work with the Prediction League. It's been great. Danny says, great work to Jose. Who's relegated? Right. So, Drewla, I'm going to come to that. in a minute. Then you've got Danny says, Drewla, yeah, League One, maybe Championship next season. I can't see with glasses on, but I'm on my mobile, says Johnny. No, if you can't see, I'm giving it all to you. I'm telling you exactly where you are. Brilliant. Shem Tams enjoyed it. Tot says, big up, Jose. You're the real star here, bro. Thanks for running a great show. No, Tot Spurs, it takes all you guys. It takes all you guys for me to do this. Jose, I just have to say thanks for your time for the shows you do. Been a pleasure getting to know you in this short space of time. We will do some collab work. Look forward to it. Rahul Athreya, guys, make sure you sub to Early Doors Football. He makes amazing content. Yes, sub. I always say sub to everybody because we're all trying to do things and bits and pieces. So subscribe to everybody. It don't cost nothing to subscribe. It's just pressing a button. Just press a button and support people because if you support people, then people will continue to do what they do because they feel that they are being supported in doing so. So yeah, carry on. Support every channel. We've got quite a few content creators here. Support them all. James, a Tottenham fan, is saying, big up. So I will come back to, because I see Kuba's just joined us. So, James, a Tottenham fan, this week, sir, you scored 11 points. James, you scored 11, and Kuva this week scored 7. But with that, Kuva, you finished in 37th place overall, which would have got you a championship spot. And bearing in mind you came to this really late, you've done so well to finish 37th. If I move this down, because I don't know, you're not going to tell me you can't see it anyway, but I'll try to move it down as best as I can. So 37th is this orange section here, underneath the yellow section, is all the championship places. So the first 20 places, obviously Premier League, and they're in yellow. The next set of orange gives you the championship places, and then the off orange or the lighter tangerine color gives you the places for League One, and then from Alan Clark, where you've got the beige kind of color, that then gives you the spots for League Two, and then we've got a grey color underneath that gives you the championship. That gives you the conference places. And James, the Tottenham fan, for your sins, you have finished. I need to find James, the Tottenham fan. Where is James, the Tottenham fan? James, the Tottenham fan, you finished 41st. In 41st place. So you, along with Kuva, would have finished in the championship, if that makes any sense to you guys. Sanchez says, say hello to Millwall. Rahul says, thanks, mate. I've actually done well. Appreciate your work, Jose. No worries whatsoever. whatsoever. Mahai Hotspur says, James, wonderful video, bro. Thanks for the shout out. Kuba is what it's saying. Big up everyone. I think I've averaged nearly 7 points per game week. That would have won if I'd played from the start. Best I don't miss a week next season. Rahul says, Rob Belcher. Good afternoon to all. Big up, Jose. Thanks for all your hard work you put in. Rob, I don't know whether you've heard, but you, sir, last week, Mr. Belcher, you scored 6 points. And Rob, them points was enough to get you to finish in 24th place. So you're one of the oranges. You're 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth orange down. And you're above Carl Simpson, who's highlighted in green. So the highest green you can see there. So you finished on 98 points, Robin. You finished 24th overall. So yeah, you've done really well. If you had slightly a better week, another 2 points, you would have broken the 100 as well. So well done, you. Destiny 5 thanking me for putting the hard work in. So Smithy, you know where you finished, haven't you? I think you were at the start of the show, so you would know where you finished. It's brilliant what I'm doing, Drula. Oh, thank you very much. Danny's right. Look, smash like and subscribe, please. Mate, to like the screen and sub to the channel. Yep, that would be interesting. That would be good. Early doors to totally agree, Jose. A good community here, and we get on rivalries aside, and that's what we want. We just want everyone to support each other because we're all doing this for a reason, you know, and everyone has particular reasons for what they're doing, and for the channels that they run and that. And it's a case of just support everyone. It's not as if we're, you know, conglomerates and we're trying to steal the market and, you know, we're trying to corner everyone. At the end of the day, we're all doing it for a reason, and the best way to support people is by turning up, making comments, hitting the like button, and if you subscribe to them, it shows them that what they're doing means something to people out there, and it probably gives you the pep up you need to continue doing it. So yeah, as long as everyone remains respectful and that, then I'm really happy with the community we've got, and I think some of these other channels are on here as well can also tell you that they're happy as well with the communities they've got, because at the end of the day there's a lot of interaction between us all, and that's good to see, and I'm all for it. So what's James saying? I'll take that I started playing this late, so bring on next season for James. Early doors. Jess, well done on your shows, been great watching them. Yep, true. Carl Simpson saying, Rob, we made the championship playoffs. Adrian Shaker says, Jose, mate, what did I score and where did I finish? Adrian, last week, mate, you scored. Adrian Shoker, you scored 11 points. And Adrian Shoker has finished in 13th place. So you finished 13th overall, Adrian, which would have got you a spot in the Premiership. So the top 20 are in the Premiership. So you would have ended up in the Premiership. Smithy says, yeah, fifth next season. You're going down, Jose. Am I? Thanks. Cool. All this love for me and then all this hatred. Drula, we're all football fans at the end, and it's not anyone's fault who they choose to support. I blame my dad. Rahul says, I won't miss a single week from next season, mate. It's very fun. And you've got Leo says, big up to all the homies in the chat. We had a great time this season. And Rahul, you're a GOAT, Jose. I don't know. I won't go that far. But yeah, in saying that, it's been fun. I'm happy that you guys have all enjoyed it. It brought something different, I suppose. I don't think anyone else was doing predictions, and as I said, I've still got it written down on the pad. When we first started out, I wrote everything down on the pad. I didn't need to use an Excel spreadsheet in order to do it. And the original people were Jose, Colin, Chris Meta Football, Nita R, Tot Spurs, Ellie, Chris Peters, Dry Roasted Peanut, Ian Meth, Rakesh, Beer Talk, Josh, Speaking Spurs, Jacob from United Spurs America, Kate from Just Go Love Spurs, Wayne Bonner, Bobby K, Lee Smithy Smith, and Jimbo. They were the original players. So when we first started out, and we first started doing this, they were the players that played. So for like the first 2 to 3 weeks, we were the only ones, and I think that was 18 players. In the end, week by week, and we didn't start in week one. So before anyone thinks of it, we didn't start in week one, and I think we started around week 9 or so. It wasn't. It definitely weren't week one. Um, I'm going to go down and have a look. So we would have started this. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? So we would have started this 28th of the 9th, 10th. So as I go up, still haven't started it. Bloody hell. When did we start this then? I think we started it on about week 9. Yeah, I think we started this on week 9. So week 9 for the first 2 to 3 weeks, there were only 18 of us, and now we've ended up with 119 players. So it's absolutely taken off, and I'm glad because it's brought a lot of people. It's brought a lot of people to the channel and to Talk and Ball, because we did this. Although it was me that my inception and my thoughts about doing it, we did share this and started doing it on Talk and Ball as well. So it's brought people to both of the channels. So for that, I can only thank you all. Do you know what I mean? It's brought us. It's brought people to both the channels. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes from here. See what happens. Um, Rahul, according to me, who's the Pots? Who's the Pots? According to you, who is the Pots this season, Jose? I don't know what you mean by Pots, mate. If you can tell me what that is, then I'll answer it. Um, Destiny 5 says, I started after 20 games and I missed the last 3 weeks, so I did okay. Everyone did okay. Everyone did okay. At the end of the day, there's no rights and wrongs. It's good fun to see what everyone's doing. So, and there's a bit of banter. You can see that you'll have a bit of banter with each other on the points that you get and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a good crack. Next season, 300 players easily. Better get ready. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to tell you this, Leo. I don't know whether you watched Friday's show, but Collins obviously was over in England last Friday when I did the predictions, and he's now currently in Amsterdam. They went to Amsterdam yesterday morning. I spoke to him last night, and he was going to try and pop on today in the background, but obviously he must be busy. But um, but what I'd found is on Friday, normally I've had Colin with me and we're doing the predictions, and I ask him to tell me who's put in what and whatever. In the end, um, in the end, um, I found Friday quite easy, Leo. And this is probably the most predictors that I've had in one week. And I know that Kuva offered to help me out as well. He sent a message in the chat as I was doing it. But I actually found it easier on Friday. It might be a one-off, but I found it easier on Friday doing it on my own rather than having to say to Colin, read me the results. Yeah, read me the results. And I found it easier because I got into a routine of color coding, so people that were here doing it live on Friday, and it meant I could just go to them straight away, and I just found it a lot easier. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But Smithy has a good blue spanner is doing. So please support Jesse at sub to the beautiful radiant Jesse. Oh my God, look at that! They've moved on a pace. It used to be just Jess, and now it's the beautiful radiant Jesse from Smithy. So yeah, please go over and subscribe to her. I think we can all agree, Jose, that you're still carrying on. Knew you had second thoughts at one point for me. I'm pleased you're still doing it. I haven't made my mind up, Tony. I really haven't made my mind up. I would say that I'm still more on the side of this than on the side of that. I'm more on the side of this at the moment than that. But we'll see. Um, there's another one from Smithy for the disabled team for our Charmer Stewie. He's in with all these people, I'm telling you. Smithy's in with all these people because he's got all these different names for them all. So yeah, he's in with all these people. Jose, any thoughts of doing the same for the Euros? Rob, it has not crossed my mind. Hasn't crossed my mind. It all depends. As I said, at the end of the day, right, we all do this for a reason. And if there is enough out there, like I said, because we all do it for different reasons and for our own thoughts and whatever. The more support you get, the more you want to do things. So, you know, it all depends. I'll leave the door open at the moment. So, but we'll see. Um, Obviously, I'd have to look when the Euros start and that if I was going to do something like that because I'd have to get it all prepared and that. But I will think about it. Then you've got get Lee to 200 people. Lee Statham TV. So there you go for Lee Statham TV. Um, there you go. Destiny says Potts is player of the season. What the player of the season for who? Who asked me that question? It was Rahul. Rahul, when you're asking me for player of the season, are you asking me to ask you to answer about Tottenham's player of the season, or are you asking me to say who do I think the Premiership player of the season was? It's quite an open-ended question, so I don't know. If you tell me what you want, I'll give you the answer. Jose sent you a private message on WhatsApp. Call it a reveal. Have you? I'll have a look at it in a minute. I'll have a look in a minute, Tot Spurs. He's getting a single. He's in a cafe getting night, getting high. Okay, I don't know what that means, but there we go. Right, Leo from the Mile High Hotspur. There's another channel that's being plugged there, so people support Leo as well. Colin's busy in a coffee shop. Ah, well, he's with his mum. He's with his mum, his wife, and his best mate. So I don't know. I'm not going to cast aspersions. And then you've got uh, James's channel, James who loves Spurs Smithy. Right. Then you're still missing Early Doors Football TV Smithy. You're missing Coovers as well. The three Spurs boys, and I'm trying to remember who else is in here that's got channels. I think you might have covered the rest. So, that being that, yeah, the season's over. We've done what we wanted to do, and the season is now over. Like I said at the start, there's still some big games to go. So I wish all the teams that are involved in the finals for the next 11 days or so, I wish them all the very best. As I said, we're going to have a quick here in this group. We're going to have a keen interest on seeing how Leeds get on. Because we want Leeds to come up, and then we can have a lot more cross content with Leeds because we've got some wonderful Leeds people in our community. So wish them all the best. But I also wish everybody else that's playing their finals all the way to the Champions League final. I wish them all the very best. And then, as people said, you can concentrate on the on the European Championships and the Copa America, and that'll take people's times up whilst this crazy transfer window season starts and whatever. So, and we'll go from there. Smithy has just put in, if I can get to it, let's just put in Early Doors Football. So please go and subscribe and support Early Doors Football TV. And by the same token, Coover and Bobby K also at the three Spurs boys. I'm sure Coover and Bobby K, when I last looked, and it was about a month ago, they were nearing the 1,000. So, yeah, let's see if we can get the three Spurs boys over that 1K mark. It'd be brilliant for them to get them over the 1K mark. So, yeah, without further ado, I thank every single one of you for being here today. That was the reveal. If you've got any questions for me in that, find me through the social channels that you've got. So I am on X. If you want to ask anything or you want to message me, I'm on X. People that have got me in their WhatsApp groups or on WhatsApp can message me as well. And failing that, you've got any ideas or you've got any things that you want to do, just put them on the community page and I'll be able to read them from there. So once more, I'm going to thank you all very much for your patience and for your support this year. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. Have a really nice summer. Take care, guys. Thank you very much. Peace out.